all the future officers, myself Drishti Goyal, and I welcome you to yet another amazing session of SSB Crack Talks. So today we are going to have one such candidate with us who said, I am going to get the uniform, if not today, then tomorrow, set his priorities right, and after a journey of 9 screenouts, one conference out, and 2 recommendations, is going to join the prestigious Indian Naval Academy Azimala in the upcoming January. So let us welcome Mr. Rohit Pandey and know about his journey of 11 SSBs and finally the success in the 12th SSB and to be the only one to get recommended for Navy SSC Hydro entry. Hi Rohit, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Drishti. How are you?
I'm also very good and many congratulations for you being recommended.
Thank you. All thanks to many people in this journey and to your platform as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can you tell us something about yourself?
Okay, so my name is Rohit Pandey. I belong to a place called Ghazipur in the eastern Uttar Pradesh. And my father is a ex-serviceman and he got retired in 2012 with a rank of Havaldar. And my mother is a housewife and my younger brother is in class 12 and he's preparing for NDA. And I got graduation in BTech from SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, and was working with a Deloitte, hopefully joining the INA soon.
All right. So as I was talking with you, you said you have got this recommendation in your 12th attempt. Earlier also you were
Yeah.
recommended once in your 10th attempt. So how was your journey of so many SSBs? What do you think was not going right in your path of success and how you prepared yourself? So now you have finally got it.
Okay, so when we talk about not going in a right path of success, see, we don't have a background like where we can get a guidance. What's it's something like if a younger brother is got into any forces, we can get something from him. He can guide us in that way. But for me, it was none anyone else. No one is there to guide me and all. So somewhere my father used to tell me a little bit about it, but it's not the full thing. So yeah, and whenever I'm approaching to any person, like everyone is busy in their schedule, right? So they are not able to give so much time into that. So initially, when I was started with my preparation SSB, I went like, okay, I'm an officer, so I'll get recommended in the first attempt itself, done and dusted kind of thing. But it didn't happen, and in the first attempt, I got screened out from Allahabad, and after that, I just went to my home and I just started recalling what went wrong and started researching, going through the YouTube videos, an academy, SSB Crack, a lot of channels are there. So I started going through all those key. I'll find something like what is the
Mhm.
process and all. After some time, when like I was next SSB was there after 2 months. So I prepared very hard. Ki this time, so I'll make it. And it was a permanent commission for the TGC. So
Okay.
I went full prepared, but again it was screened out. So in third attempt also, I went like I came back and I thought, okay, I have to prepare more on narration. Somewhere I used to be more fast. Like whenever I'm speaking the narration, I used to be more fast and end it in a very small time. So I thought,
Right.
okay, next time I'm going, then I'll improve it upon it. So in the long run, if you'll see what mistakes I have made is like whatever the practice I'm doing at home, I'm implementing it in the SSB and it is costing me another attempt. So if I'll be now, so I'll be like connecting with more people like who are from the same domain who want to go for SSB and prepare and finally get recommendation and soon to the academy and then to officer. So I'll connect with them. I'll do a daily sessions and if possible, I'll include one assessor also if possible in that because it will be very easy because everyone can judge others, but it's very hard to judge yourself. You can't judge yourself very easily, right? Whatever the
Right.
action I'm doing, I can't see myself until it's recorded. Ki, हाँ, you are doing this point of time, you are doing this wrong. So that was the case. And so initially, this all I started. And in the fifth attempt, I took a coaching in Bangalore. And after that, I got conference out. And till that time, I was not working also. So I didn't had anything. Then after that, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth attempt, this all were screened out. again. I was thinking like that self-doubt used to come na ki layak ho bhi ki nahi, like
Right.
you are really made of it or not, or just leave it. There is other future options you can consider them. But as soon as the next SSB comes up, you are again go to go कि हाँ
Hmm.
ठीक है भाई, you will prepare OIR, SSB, PPDT and all, read the newspapers, channels and other. You go in that flow.
Right.
So that self doubt wala thing will just get erased off from that point of view कि हाँ okay, we'll focus on the next SSB. So this was the thing I thought कि हाँ चलो ठीक है, and it was a very continuous process. That state of mind is है ना, as soon as you get involved in other things, this will get off. And here it's more important what you want in life, what's your priority. So for me it's set key at the age of 42 years I'm gonna achieve this through TA or any other ways. I need a uniform, so it will be like that. So in the 10th attempt I didn't know, but it was happened and I got recommended from SSB Kapurthala. And it is a very special place because I went to that place previously 3 times and got screened out. So there was nothing new. So when I got recommended, it was like ki, on the time when I got recommended, my friends were like looking at me, and assessors were also looking at me while announcing the result. Ki just number two. So I started looking back. Okay. Then I was looking back ki why this chest number two is not showing up or not coming in front. So after that, sometime one of my friends just pinched me ki bhai, it's you only. So I rose up in like kind of pressure or excitement, what it's kind of very mixed feeling.
Hmm.
And after that I just spoke my name like ROHIT and all. And next 2 days I'm like okay, whether it's like a dream, it may break at any point of time. It was feeling like that. Then i I recollected myself ki ha, it's done now. Now the medicals are started, we'll focus there.
Right. So basically you meant that अगर आप अकेले प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो तो शायद आप उतना एनालाइज ना कर पाओ, सो इट्स बेटर कि आप एक ग्रुप के साथ या और लोगों को कनेक्ट करके यू शुड प्रिपेयर.
Yeah, it's always better because when you're in the group, so other people are seeing you, right? Your friends are there. So they can tell ki, acha Rohit, this thing you are making mistakes, your narrations are going longer, your words are getting wrong, or something like that. Because it's kind of mini SSB PPDT you are conducting.
Right.
And when there will be an assessor, he can pinch point because assessor is an year of experience. If he's telling something, obviously it's meant to be. So
Okay.
that's why
So
I think that if anyone is talking or if anyone is preparing, go with a group.
right, because like screening out is like सबसे ज़्यादा painful चीज I guess, है ना, when you're
Yeah,
going there and on the very first you're coming back taking all of your luggage again, और फिर घर आके भी you are not knowing कि what you did wrong, especially.
yeah. So in that aspect, Drishti, the thing is that ki when you are coming back, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
a long journey. You're
Right.
for going, you will book the ticket from 1 month or something like that. But
Mm-mm.
for coming back, you don't have any plan, right?
Right.
So it may be sometimes a general ticket or without ticket. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you are traveling the half of the India. Like for example, a person traveling from Chennai going to Kapurthala. So
Right.
first he has to come to Delhi. Then from Delhi he has to take another train to Jalandhar. Then from Jalandhar he'll go to Kapurthala. It's like that journey.
Mm-hmm.
So for coming back he has to get it, same place but without any reservation and all. So while coming back now, we'll get a self-realization. Every points, whatever the things we did in this has been, it'll come in our mind like a recorded video. कि हाँ, you made this wrong, you ate this food. So sometimes it will be like कि आज ये खाना नहीं खाना चाहिए था, आज इससे बात नहीं करनी चाहिए थी, या इससे मतलब इसका चेहरा नहीं देखना चाहिए था. तो काइंड ऑफ थिंग कम्स ना कि इसने सुबह सुबह आके चेहरा दिखा दिया इसलिए मैं स्क्रीन आउट हो गया. तो ये सारी चीजें keeps on coming. So for me, what I used to do whenever after the SSB, I used to recollect and I used to find a mistake of myself. For example, it may be the
Right.
OIR.
Mm-hmm.
कि OIR का पता नहीं होता and it can be never 100%. So मुझे लगा OIR में दिक्कत है. So I'll improve on OIR. Then comes the narration part. I'll improve on writing stories. For example, if I'm and after that I used to talk with my friends like whoever have got till a conference level because I haven't reached to the conference level till that time. So they used to tell कि भाई write a kind of good story. It will be really good. ये गलती है. Put this thing. So I
Okay, so
started
according
improving.
to you, what are the important factors that should be included in a story?
Okay, so when you are talking about this story, a picture is shown
Hmm.
to you, and then
Hmm.
after that, first thing is that a emotion should be there. For example, you are telling an story, right? So एक emotion होना चाहिए, state होनी चाहिए. Like the person, for example, of a story is there, a person is dead. Okay, there is a dead body behind you. So how do you perceive that picture? If a dead body is in the hospital, so it can be a normal thing. In hospitals, these things are the daily thing. But if it is in a village, so how do you perceive that story, that state? And how do you convert that negative state in a positive state? That is a miracle. And it should be very natural. For example, if someone is dead, then what we do? We used to do the initial things, and then finally we used to move on from that and focus on the other things. So the story should be like that. Ki, हाँ, you have some aim. This thing is a barrier thing, and you just solve that problem and then move on ahead with that. So in that case, it should continue. It should not be like ki, after the death you left your dream and all, and you just started with him, whatever the leftover work was there by him. So it
Right.
should be a very natural thing.
Okay. And in sometimes in PPDT, some very hazy picture are shown. Like क्या होता है कि कभी कभी कुछ भी नहीं समझ आ रहा आपको पिक्चर में, यू कैन जस्ट इमेजिन कि एक दो कैरेक्टर होंगे शायद. So in that case, how we should perceive and what type of story we should like create over there?
Okay, so when the picture is hazy, it's like okay. Sometimes the picture comes hazy. The purpose may be ki they want to have a mini perspective.
Mm-mm.
Like if the picture is hazy, no, everyone will get the different story.
Right.
10 people are there, 10 people will get the different story at that time. And how you are able to convince those 10 people, it's called the group dynamics. In that 1 minute of narration, whatever the points, like it's kind of a luck or the stimulus which is matching to the most of the people. If it hits right, you can just get it. In my fifth attempt, I went for SSB in Bangalore. So there the picture was hazy.
Mm-mm.
A blanket was seen, and the two people holding that blanket was visible. Okay, only
Okay.
the hands are visible, and the other areas are not visible. It kinds of a lot of people are standing. Okay, so I made a story like there is one person who is going to his office. On the way, he saw in an auto a girl or a woman is suffering having pregnancy, and she needs to hurry to the
Mm-mm.
hospital. But due to traffic jam, she was not able to move ahead. So what she did, what he did was talk to the nearby people. Like women's are also there, right? Nearby the roadside. So he collected them, made a human tent, and he was able to calm the women till the ambulance arrived. When ambulance arrived, he just helped that woman to get into the ambulance and helped her through the whole journey, like till his family members arrived. So like that story I made, and I got a screened in. So and there are a lot of people who made a story like flood wala thing ki flood aa gaya hai, they're helping that, and there are many people accident wala case. So in that thing, what the positive outcome you can tell. For example, in that SSB, no one wants to get into the negative side of the thing. If you're telling that ki, let's go with the positive thing or the social outcome wala thing, so most
Mm-hmm.
of the people will agree at that time, and this is what you need to do.
Right. So basically, do something which you can do for your society, right? Instead of going something like out of the box, या फिर बहुत ज़्यादा extreme जाने से better.
Yeah, stay in the middle, manage everything, and just relate to the what can happen in the normal
Mm-hmm.
life. And these are the normal life, right? We have seen this thing happening. So take the story from your experience and put it, and it will be really good.
Okay. Also, there is a misconception that many people think कि जिसने final narration दिया PPDT में, he is going to get selected anyhow. So, what is your view
Okay,
on that?
okay. So I have the most experience of all this thing. I've gone most of the time in SSB and got screened out. So I've
Right.
seen people giving the narration also getting screened out with me. And after that, we are sharing the same train and going back.
Hmm.
So it really doesn't matter who is giving the narration. If he has the quality, he'll pakka get screened in, whether he gives the narration or not. I've also seen the people who kept silent in the GD got
Mm-hmm.
screened in.
Right.
Okay. So it is somewhat based on the story or somewhat the narration from where his qualities are visible. And everyone has the quality. If you think you are going in certain direction, it means that your qualities are aligned to that. That's why you're going in that direction. And if you put effort, you will pakka get through.
Right. Again, many things that OIR is a waste. The OIR is not even getting checked. वो ऐसा मिसकंसेप्शन है लोगों को कि OIR में कुछ भी करो, आपका PPDT will only decide your fate. So
No,
again,
no.
your views on that.
Yeah, it ऐसा नहीं हो सकता because when you are going for the SSB, okay, take it as examination, right? It's a kind of examination, and whatever the steps, whatever the processes are made, it's for some use, right?
Right.
Otherwise, if OIR is not checked, why they're even taking time, for having this thing? Instead that wasting that 1 hour, they could have done PPDT in just 5 minutes and just check me out, right?
Right.
So yeah, so OIR is very important. It's like it's the base thing. It will calculate ki how much OIR is there, like officer intelligence rating, like how many level you are there. कि हाँ ठीक
Mm-hmm.
है, you are at level 1, 2 or 3, and that will be very helpful. It's kind of easy pick for them. If 1, then it's okay. If D and no, like 3, 4 and all, it'll be like okay, he's a normal candidate kind of thing.
Right. So basically, something which is on our hand, we should never take it lightly, right?
Yeah, never take it lightly. If you're going for an examination, take everything and give all your best, whatever the process you can be.
Right. So now I'll talk about stage 2. Okay. So
Yeah,
as your first recommendation was for Army and your second recommendation is for Navy.
yeah.
So being in both the SSBs, have you find any kind of difference between both? And if yes, then what was it?
Okay, so for first SSB, when I went, like second time I got screened in my 10th attempt. And in the normally I just wrote the psych test. In psych, what happened? There was a one incident happened. So I was writing with a pen and my pen just blinked at that time. It was not,
Okay.
I was not able to write. So I borrowed another pen and just wrote the psych. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there is also misconception that when you are writing the psych, if you are doing so many SRTs, it will be very helpful. It's not like that. I have done only 33 SRTs in my first attempt and first recommendation, and in the second also approximately 35. So this is the ratio. I thought, okay, this much is good. Now I finished every rest of the things like TAT and all. I just finished the all. I should not left it blank. He left it incomplete. Finish it पूरा जितना भी है complete it. Like TAT is very important, VAT is very
Mm-hmm.
important, and never leave the SD. SD is very important. So three things are important, and SRT you can just write it because 30, 33 is a good number for recommendation.
Right. So
And
as you're
yeah,
talking about psych test, so I'll start with that only. Okay. Abhi, what is the mindset a person have while writing the psych test, and what was your approach basically towards this VAT and SRT? क्योंकि अभी समझ
okay,
नहीं आ रहा ना कितना कम टाइम है कैसे डील करना है इन 15 seconds the word is being vanished.
okay.
So what
So
was the
for
mindset
me,
and how you kept writing to yourself?
okay, so I know my strength. Like I'm good, very good at writing, and I write very fast. Okay,
Mm-mm.
so whatever the thoughts are coming, I just pen it down. So when you're writing a story, there are always three parts. One is for introduction, right? You'll give introduction, which will include sometimes problem also. Then comes the solution, and then comes the final outcome. For example, you have solved the problem, and what is it going to be in future? So
Right.
I mostly used to write in a 3 paragraphs, but it will not be visible on that sheet. So when you're writing in the 3 paragraph, it will be like okay, and it is very important to write in a paragraph through your mindset because you will understand ki where you have left. For example, somewhere it happens that you don't have a time.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, you know ki हाँ, I have not finished the outcome. I'll come back to it later. Then you will start the
Okay.
next story. And when you're doing the SD and SRT, you will get a lot of time because it's your dependent, right? There is a booklet given to you for SRT, so
Mm.
you should know ki how much is a good number. 32, 33 is there, and then you can just finish it off. That I was talking previously, right? Ki we need to finish what we have started. So TAT you need to finish, VAT you need to finish. Don't leave any TAT and VAT. And finally, the SD you can write, which is kind of like mostly people used to say, "Ki SD can be, read and come from home," but I never did
Right.
it. Whatever the SD I wrote in the SSB, it was like implicit. I just whatever the thoughts came into my mind, I just wrote it. Ki, हाँ, I have to write. that thing.
So,
So
have you
that,
faced any difficulty with when you were not prepared for SJT?
yeah, when you're not prepared for the SAT, na, sometimes it happens the last question you will not be able to finish it. Only one or two line you are able to finish it. So for me, it happened in the last, like, what do you want to become in the future? I just
Mm-hmm.
wrote one line. I want to become an officer in the Indian Armed Forces. That's it. And I just
Okay.
mentioned one of my weakness. That two line is enough. In both the things, I wrote those two lines, and luckily I got recommended.
All right. Okay. Can you give examples of some of the absurd words? Like जिनको देख के लगता है यार इनसे लिखना ही क्या? Or फिर what type of approach you kept for those words?
Okay, for example, if the word is like loaf, or sometimes it's like key sleepers. Sometimes the word comes now, or it's also Crocs. This
Right.
words no. So when you are relating Crocs is a kind of slipper which is worn in a this thing, right? So as an engineer, what you can like improvise it. Crocs made of a fiber or something, or Crocs made up of वो जो buttons होते हैं ना छोटे छोटे वाले, it helps in regulating your body temperature, something like that. Like
Okay.
aqua pressure can act as aqua pressure also. So in that way you can relate कि हाँ you are adding that quality to that, and which will be very different.
Mm-hmm.
मतलब लोगों को समझ में आता होगा, but out of those like 130 or 150 people, you will be somewhere in a different category. हाँ, you have used your brain or something like that. And and it will not only reflect that one thing, it will also reflect that when you are going to buy the Crocs, you keep this thing in mind. So it will be visible कि अच्छा, that quality will comes up, that analyzing
Right.
quality. And
Okay.
yeah.
Mm-mm. Okay, right. So like it was right approach कि अगर कुछ भी चीज है so we should think about improvement in that है ना कि हम कैसे और उसको बेहतर कर सकते हैं या फिर किस टाइप से we should be like categorizing those things, right?
या अब जैसे मान लो कुछ भी है, फॉर एग्जांपल blood is there, right? Blood,
Uh-huh.
people will pakka think of a donating blood. Okay, so
Okay.
you can assume that if you have been NCC, you would have organized the blood camp, or how is helping the society, or you can say RH blood, which is a very rare blood, can be helped by collecting the blood groups, something like that. It will come in mind if you have done it in the past, because we know now कि past will come up somewhere or the other, it will reflect. For example,
Right.
we have learned ABCD in like LKG, right? But still we are
Mm-mm.
having the application of it. So same way, whatever the experiences which we are having now the application of it. Whatever the decision we are having, we are just applying that thing. अच्छा, बुरा हो गया है तो इस रास्ते से नहीं जाना है, will change the path. So that is the thing, right?
Basically keep your past experiences in mind and you can utilize wherever it is needed, right?
Yeah, and your mind should be free. It should not be कि भाई साइक टेस्ट लिख रहे हैं, वैट लिख रहे हैं, अच्छा वो उसने बताया था वही लिखना है. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. It should be more free. तभी तो वो पता
Right.
चलेगा ना कि पर्सनालिटी है वो.
Okay, very well said. So now I'll talk about your interview. Okay, you have been for technical entries, right?
Yeah.
Especially like in your navy or your army. So technical background से related as you are mechanical engineer. So mechanical background से related किस type के questions आएंगे और जो लोग mechanical background से belong करते हैं उन्हें कौन से sections particularly prepare करके जाना चाहिए for personal interview?
Okay. So I'll talk about army, then I'll move to navy. So when you're going for the army, there are diversification in the army. We have armored regiment and other regiments also dealing with the tanks. Aircrafts are also there. So the basic thing, like a normal person, which what he expect is कि if you are a normal person or a normal candidate, you should know about this. What is the Bernoulli's principle? A little bit about कि अच्छा, how does the tank moves? Like this is small things. People don't know. You have done the engineering and they don't know how the tank moves. Even though how the brakes are applied. Okay, what is the difference between a bike and a scooter? This is small things which we have learned. How does the AC work? Okay, how does the cooler work? This is a small thing they will ask. Okay, they can ask also ki in my interview the question was asked ki there is a bicycle is there, right? We have a small gear cycle, gear chain, right? So we have if we'll increase the diameter of the both the things, how it will affect. So you have to tell ki, sir, if it will be both equal, it will not be having any gain in the speed. It will be normal and the effort and all will be required. So in that way, just a small thing if we'll give na, they will understand ki, हाँ, he has the basic idea. They don't want the experts over there.
Okay.
And when you're talking about the subjects, basic like first year subjects are used to be there, right? They can focus over there.
Mm-mm.
First year
Okay.
subjects, and you can go for the physics wala thing little bit in like what is the, somewhere they ask also Newton's third law of motion or the three laws. Tell me the three laws of motion, and they will ask you what is the thermodynamic law for the mechanical engineer I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. So these are the small questions they will ask, and they will ask at that point now where you will be talking about your parents or somewhere relative, and they'll just tell, okay, Rohit, tell me what is the thermodynamic law. They'll be like, okay. And even if you know, na, you just go blank for a second. Acha, I read it in that mechanical engineering and all, even though I revised it before the interview, but you'll go blank. So
Right.
in that situation, na, for that the best practice is take 4 or 5 friends and ask them to take your interview
Mm-hmm.
in a random order. And when you're giving interview to your friends now, it will develop ki, हाँ, you are ready now.
ओके सो बेसिकली ऐसा नहीं है कि पूरा बुक से उठा के पूछ रहे यू शुड बी नोइंग अबाउट द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ व्हाट यू हैव स्टडीड राइट एंड द
Yeah,
इक्विपमेंट्स और अप्लायंसेस यू आर यूजिंग इन योर डे टू डे लाइफ सो उनके प्रिंसिपल्स वो किस पे काम कर रहे हैं एंड व्हाट फिजिक्स इज यूज्ड बिहाइंड देम वो आपको मालूम होना चाहिए बेसिकली
yeah. And if you even if you don't know anything, for example, अगर basic चीजें मान लो, there was one guy with me. He didn't know ki what are the wars India fought.
ओके
Okay, and he said, sir, I don't know. Simply he said, and he the next question from the assessor was, do you know when India got independence? He just random, yes, sir, I know it is 1945. That's it. And that guy got recommended.
ओके
So if you think that if he doesn't know the wars, right, it's the very crucial. You're going for the army and you don't know the wars. Even if you go and talk about the normal person, they will tell you no, he is not an officer or something like that. It's not like that. He has the quality. Learning the wars which the India fought, he'll learn by way if it is needed. So you should focus on the OLQs. Like we have the 15 OLQs. So focus on the other OLQs which are very important.
Okay. So as you're
Yeah.
talking about OLQs, है ना, many people are don't even knowing and they're banging their head around कि ये OLQs develop कैसे करने हैं. So what was have you ever did or go around these OLQs and if yes then how?
Okay. So I'll tell you about the experience of my first conference. So I was
Mm-hmm.
sitting in a conference, and after the conference, we had everyone gathers at one place. That is a result declaration time. And in the Navy, now the officers used to come and they will tell you OLQs, all the OLQs, what they're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a session like that. So they will tell everything. And in my mind, na, ki this SSB is looking for the OLQs, right? Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
whenever he's talking about effective intelligence, I'm checking that tick box in my mind. Okay, I'm having this, I'm having this. So at the end of the session, I got recommended in the fifth attempt only. So I thought like that. Then when the results are announced, my name is not there. So I was like, okay, what went wrong? That time only I thought about the OLQs. After that, I didn't thought ki haan, even though it is written on my study table, what are the OLQs and all 50, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't want, I never looked deep inside it. Ki, Acha, this is that thing. I need to develop that. It's not like that. I just improved my daily things. The way I do the things,
Right.
I just improved that.
Okay. So can you tell about some basic changes you which you made in your routine or maybe your lifestyle which may have helped you in your recommendation?
Okay, so there are two things which is very important. Like whenever we get up from the bed, what are the things
Hmm.
we do? For example, if you want to go for a running, okay, so how you will go? If you want to go for a running, you will get up from the bed, freshen up, and then wear the shoes and socks, wear the sportswear. Then you go wear the socks and shoes, and wear the sportswear, and then you can have a watch also, and even a phone if you are carrying. Then you
Hmm.
will go for a ground, right? This is the basic map. And
Hmm.
what happens sometimes when we get up from the bed, we don't know what to do. So we sleep again, right?
Right.
So that mind map is not clear. Ki, हाँ, tomorrow you have to go for a run. What all you have to wear and how you need to go, which ground you have to go. So
All
if
right.
this path is clear, right, you can go directly to the ground and run, right? Run or jog.
Mm-mm.
So what I did, I started deciding what I need to do. For example, if I'm like overweight, then I need to go for a run early in the morning.
Mm-mm.
So whatever happened, I used to go in the morning, deciding all those things. First factor, deciding your priorities is the first most important thing. Increase your organizing, like whatever the you do. For example, you want to eat, right? Eat the
Right.
breakfast or eat the food. And if you are obese kind of person, so
Mm-mm.
you don't need to eat the oily foods, right? So
Right.
start
Right.
making
Right.
that decision from the tiny plate, right? Ki, हाँ, I
Mm-hmm.
need to eat this all things. Ask your mom to do the same thing for you. She will do. So when you're taking this small decision, you are improving yourself. In the long term, you didn't know, but it will improve yourself. Your habits will also improve consequently. Okay. For example, if you're going 21 days or a 30 days to the like ground now, if you
Mm-hmm.
miss one day now, you'll feel like a guilt. Arey, I didn't go. That thing will keep on moving in your mind. कि अच्छा. So next day you'll pakka go. कि हाँ, I have to go to the run or whatever it is. So first thing is decide your priorities. Second thing is have a mind map. It's very important. And
Right.
third thing is like see, although we have a bad choices. For example, the best example is when we go out in the market, we see the snack shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, aloo chaat and all. And there is also one shop which is having the juice and other things. If you go with the friends, we never go to that juice shop, right? We
Right.
always we always go to the aloo tikki wala thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see that perspective in the long run, it's like we are exploiting ourselves for the small things, right? Like 10,
Mm-hmm.
20 rupees, we are just spoiling ourselves, right? So instead that if we could have made that choice like juice and all, it will be healthy for us. So from there only you have to start making the decision. I'm not telling like ki always you need to make such kind of decisions. Sometimes you have to enjoy that also.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you are working out for 21 days, take a 1 day or 2 day break and have watch movie, eat a good food, eat pizza also. So having a break is also good, but it should be a balanced one.
Right. So थोड़ा थोड़ा थोड़ा
And
थोड़ा अगर आप चेंजेस कर रहे हो अपने रूटीन में, so it is going to be a bigger impact in the end.
and you don't know how will it will affect the SSB. And only when you get recommended, and then you will return back na ki, acha, I did all this so because of that. So it's like
Right. Okay. So now I'll talk about GT, but before that, I want to know about your physical regime, like fitness के लिए, how you started and how long you kept it going.
okay. So initially when I went for the college, I was like bulky, like I was fat.
Uh-uh.
Okay, so I joined the NCC. Okay, this is a 3 years program, like it's the volunteer one. So I joined the NCC for the purpose of being fit, but it develops me into a totally different person. It's like it built my discipline, it built my perseverance. Like I have to travel to another campus for the NCC. So from there now we used to go for a run, and
Mm-mm.
this process is continuous with the rifle or without the rifle, with some load sometimes, or with sometimes it happens like buddy will be on your shoulder. So it's kind of that thing. So it just started like that, and at the end of the day, when you see now, I developed into a person who can run for like even a 21-kilometer thing easily, and it is not affecting my body. And after that also I started doing gym and all. After that, like when the NCC is complete, so I was free. So
Mm-hmm.
I started doing gym, going for the running with my friends and all. So I was quite continuous, but in the COVID it all break. Then when the COVID lifted, then again I started about those all things.
Okay. So basically, NCC was a very much like help for you in your this preparation per se. I'll say.
It actually built me, if we can say
Okay.
that. Yeah,
So for
it built
those who
me.
are right now going for their colleges or something, so you would suggest them to be part of NCC if possible.
Obviously, always 200%. It's not about NCC. It's about the fun and other things which you gain in the NCC. Apart from every positive thing, it's like a
Mm-hmm.
bonus thing. So enjoy the NCC, and if possible, take the Air Force NCC because it has
Okay.
a future benefits in a SSB perspective.
How?
Okay, so this Air Force NCC, the people who have done the Air Force NCC, they have got the flying one also, right? So
Mm-mm.
it has like they can directly apply for the flying branch in through APCAT and all. And second thing, they can appear for the Air Force, Army NCC also, and Navy also.
Okay, right.
This is the
So
benefit.
वहां पे अपर एज रहता है उनको.
They got an upper age.
Okay, and again flying करने को मिल रहा है आपको एनसीसी लेवल पे, so again it is like a win-win in both the cases. Okay.
Oh,
So now
yeah.
about GT. How was the GT? Were you excited for that, or it was like okay, normal कर लेंगे वाला type? And if like out of all the 9 tasks under your GT, which went best for you, and where you could have improved a little bit?
Okay, so when you talk about GT, right, the best
Hmm.
one was like individual obstacle, right? It's an individual thing, and we aim like, ki, acha, I'll do it twice. That mindset is always there with the boys,
Mm-hmm.
I think. So I went in the first attempt, I did the 16 in the fifth attempt, that in
Okay.
Bangalore. I did 16. In my second one, I was able to do the 13. And in second recommendation, I maintained the same thing, 13 only. So this was the thing. And after that, this progressive group task, it's no one knows now what we should do at that time, right? Right. Like a group of 10 people are standing and everyone is holding Balli and Patra and they will be fighting for the ki, which way we have to take, right? So it is a
Right.
very chaotic situation. And there comes the play like ki, what you need to do. So for me, it was like at the starting line, everyone is discussing, right? So sometimes I used to hold a Balli and
Mm-hmm.
as soon as I see that obstacle, I'll have a mind map ki, we can go because if it is white path, it's easy, right? To go. So I directly tell them, ki, gentlemen, we can go through this path. It's white and it's easy to go. And you drop the balli. Okay.
Okay.
So you drop the balli. Once the balli is dropped, and you ask, ki, gentlemen, come pass over. Right. So
Right.
once you did this thing, right? So obviously everyone will follow that path. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is always try to be in front. Okay. So leaders are always front because if anything is coming, they can handle it. And the most important thing is that when you are in obstacle, right? If you will be
Uh-huh.
outside the obstacle, you will not know how to solve that problem, right? Once
Exactly.
you get into the problem, then only you will solve it. So for me, it's like be in the problem, then solve it. For example, if
Mm-hmm.
anybody else is also solving the problem, for example,
Right. Mm.
if I am there and my friend is there, the buddy, so
Mm-hmm.
he's solving the problem and I'm having Balli or Patra anything. So I'll just help him to do it because if you see the situation, if your friend is solving, you let him solve, right? You will not interrupt कि हाँ भाई तू रहने दे मैं करूँगा तेरा भाई solve
Right.
करेगा ऐसा नहीं
Mm-hmm.
होगा, right? So you let them solve, be a participant, be a supporter at that time, and obviously in the next or three obstacles, now we have a series of obstacle at that point of time. So in the next or the third one, he'll पक्का help कि हाँ भाई तू कर ले, he'll पक्का give a chance. So think in that motive, and whenever you are going for the SSB, go to develop a bonding and to
Right.
develop a perspective कि it's not about the exam, it's about a lifelong bond. Okay, कि which you gonna carry.
Mm-hmm.
So वो brotherhood वाली चीज जब तक नहीं आएगी ना, you will पक्का not able to sail through the SSB positively. तो वो होनी चाहिए. So this was a PGT. Then if you want to know कि अच्छा तुम्हारा GTO कैसा गया है, तो it will be
Mm-hmm.
most visible in the command task.
Right.
So if you get the difficult command task, it means that GDO is putting more pressure on you. He wants you to solve that. कि हाँ ठीक है, what's going on and all. So
Mm-hmm.
if this thing is happening, it means that कि you have done better in the GTO. After that, group group obstacle race, that is snake race we used to tell now.
Right.
That is the most difficult I think because here the group members are involved and it's a competitive spirit. Okay, at that point of
Right.
time. And GTOs are very expert in developing that competitive spirit within a span of time. Okay, and if they develop it, the friends now the group members, they become violent as if like
Mm-hmm.
it's a war. We need to win the war. It happens like that. So at that point people forget about the rules, small rules which happen, right? And here the leader, if you are a leader, so you need to protect your team. Like for example, if they're rushing up, you have to protect them, they should not fall.
Right.
Yeah. So here you can show your leadership. You can control your group कि हाँ भाई रुक जा, आराम से करेंगे, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. Because at the end, the assessors are made to, everyone should cross the path at the similar time.
Hmm.
This is the mentality. So even though you are rushing so hard, also breaking the rules, also it will not be visible. Okay. So control the group. Now the GD, right? Group discussion, and there is also called a lecture. So
Right.
when you're talking about the group discussion, it's not something like the screening wala GD. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
screening wala GD is to another level. Okay,
Right.
this GD is like ki till that time you have bonded, you have spent one day with your friends and all. So you know ki what's the strength and weaknesses, a similar pattern. So
Mm-hmm.
you can talk. It's a group discussion is giving your viewpoints, and in that time don't try to block anyone. For example, if anyone is giving a point and it's not
Mm-hmm.
related also, so don't tell कि gentleman तू चुप हो जा भाई तू गलत बोल रहा है ऐसे नहीं बोलना है. It's like कि okay gentleman I want to add my point. Always like you want to add your point कि नहीं gentleman I don't agree with you. It should not be like that.
Basically, don't
So
demoralize, just add on what is going on, right?
yeah, and the
Hmm.
idea is that ki everyone can have a different perspective because everyone is coming from a different background, different families, different culture, right?
Right.
So it's a mixture of all cultures at a one place. So you
Mm-hmm.
don't need to negate anyone, just go it positively. And when it comes for the lecturate, no, lecturate I have seen it's like ki okay, you are the commander. I feel like that you are the
Mm-hmm.
commander, and you need to talk about anything to a lot of members, okay? And you
Right.
should talk in that way that everyone should listen very attentively,
Exactly.
like the way that you can convince about the thought. For example, if I want to tell about my place, I'll tell in that way interesting way that they should listen and they should understand कि हाँ,
Hmm.
if I'll be visiting my place, how he can be and what are the places he can visit, right?
Right.
Yeah, so this is the basic thing. And then comes the one important is the group planning exercise, GP.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here it's kind of a military planning exercise. It's like a map and all will be shown to you, and you have to just tell everything. So in that time is there, right? Everyone is fighting for the okay. Let's take this priority one, priority two, or priority
Uh-huh.
three, right? So it's very hard to convince to the people कि भाई नहीं इधर जान का खतरा है तो priority one रखते हैं. This side is going negative, so we'll take it the priority two or something like that. So in GP, it's like at the end of the GP, what I have done, for example, GP is once ended, right? So
Right.
GT will pakka ask, is there any other solution? Okay. So if you're not agreeing with any problem which has been solved and the solution given to it, you can gently raise your hand and tell sir, this is the problem and I have a different solution and which is more feasible. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the idea behind this is कि for example, if you are going on any important operation or a mission, okay,
Right.
and since you are a group member, so if you are a group member, if you think that कि there can be a problem or casualty, right? So what you will do, you will give a like
Idea.
better solution or a solution to that problem, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
very important because you are contributing to the group and you are preventing a lot of casualties, right? So in that way, you should always speak to your things. Ki, haan, this could be done, which will improvise the whole idea and whole solution.
Exactly.
And yeah, so in the PGT is there, HGT is there, same in the group is half, and the similar
Mm-hmm.
pattern is followed. And final group task is there. After the final group task, there is called a debriefing where the GT will talk to you and all. He'll do ki, how was your day and all. So see, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is very important. Even if the GTO tells you ki, okay, now the process has been over, my file has been closed. But
Right.
you should understand you are in the SSB, right?
Right.
That 5-day process is still going on.
Mm-hmm.
So don't lose yourself throughout the process because somewhere we become very lazy. We lose ourselves. कि हाँ ठीक है चलो हो गया खत्म.
Hmm.
So we start trying do some actions and all. Take it as examination and enjoy it within the limits. And it's very important because after the GTO and all, we become free कि अब तो हो गया भाई, tomorrow is a conference, we'll just get it off with that. So never do that. Have always the confidence, even if you have done good, even if you have not done good.
Basically, don't declare the result until and unless it is actually declared, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have actually like told about this GT series in a very good detail, I guess. जो first timer जा रहा होगा उनको समझ आ जाएगा कि होने क्या वाला है अंदर, है ना?
हाँ.
राइट. उसके बाद है कॉन्फ्रेंस, है ना? अभी वो ये कि ओके द डी डे इज देयर, है ना?
Yeah.
एवरीबडी देयर इज लाइक कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा होता माइंड में, बट समझ नहीं आ रहा होगा क्या. वी कैनॉट डू एनीथिंग, देयर विल बी लॉन्ग वेटिंग आवर्स, वी डोंट नो, है ना? पूरे दिन सुबह के तैयार होकर निकलते अपने रूम से सामान लेके, एंड वी
हाँ,
नीड टू
open.
सिट इन, राइट. सो वी आर नॉट अलाउड टू गो बैक टू आवर रूम्स आफ्टर दैट. एक बार छोड़ दिया मॉर्निंग में तो खत्म है वो उधर, चाहे आप रिकमेंड हो रहे हो चाहे नहीं. So what was your mindset at that time? और फिर जब कॉन्फ्रेंस में actually your name was declared, like in the result, so वो how was that scenario for you? Like आपने बताया अभी भी कि उस टाइम तो आप नहीं जज कर पा रहे थे कि मैं ही हूँ. इन योर फाइनल लाइक 12th रिकमेंडेशन, 12th एसएसबी में जो आपकी रिकमेंडेशन हुआ उसमें कैसा था?
Okay. So when I was in the 12th attempt, so my SSB at Bhopal, right? So
Right.
in that SSB, I enjoyed a lot. I made so many friends. So who went for this thing, INA. So from that attempt, like I was not sure कि I'm going to make it still this time. Okay. But there after they declared declared this thing कि हाँ today is your conference and all, take out your bag and take all the belongings with you. That instructions came up. So we took it, and then when we went for the conference, my conference went just for the 2 minutes.
Okay.
And they asked me ki, okay, the catch was there ki they asked me ki, okay, Rohit, tell me how was your day. I told, okay, everything was fine. That, monotonous answer. Then he asked me ki, Rohit, tell me ki what are the improvements you want to make in the SSB center, like suggestions, any suggestions. So I told ki I don't want any changes. It's all well and good. So he told me ki, no, Rohit, if you really want to make the changes, what it will be. So then I told one answer ki, sir, in our washrooms, lights are continuously on, like day and night. So what we can do is we can install the automatic system and it will improve. Then he asked me ki, don't you have, okay, when the switches are on at your home, what do you do? So I told ki I'll switch it off. So then he asked ki, what did you do this time? So I told ki, sir, I switched it off, but when I'm at sleep, it's always on. So he told, okay, Rohit. I sorted that thing. Then he just finished off. Thank you, Rohit. Okay, do you have any questions? So obviously I don't have any questions. I just walked away. So this was my second conference, and it was normal, and I didn't know whether my name is gonna come. And in the Navy SSB, what happens? They declare like how many people are gonna get recommended. So we were like, yeah, we were like 24 people, and two people. They told like 3 people are gonna get recommended this time. Okay. They also told ki some people are close, but they are not able to make it. If they will improve, they will make it. Then they took the two people's name, and those two people are my friends only, and we were living in the same room. Okay. So now the thing is that there is one seat, one recommendation left, and the number of people is 22.
Right.
Okay. So it was a kind of situation, and I can't explain that. Like if I'll not get recommended, then it will be like अच्छा recommended वाला भी आया था वो भी चला गया ऐसे ही. So that thing is normal, right? So at that time they took my chest number. This time my chest number was 9, so I thought, okay, let it be. Then I went, and it was like a satisfaction कि हाँ चलो हो गया finally. So it was kind of a relief kind of thing.
Okay. So now, as you have finally got your call up letter, right? And your look, your joining letter, I'll say, and you're going to join the very prestigious Indian Navy Naval Academy in January. So, what are your plannings for that? How you have prepared, or what type of celebrations you have done after your this joining letter came?
Yeah, the thing is that I was not able to celebrate as such anything because there was very less time left for me. So it all went in making documents, buying the such of the things, booking tickets and all. and mostly I was going for the SSB. So midway it came, so I have to return. Okay, let's leave for the SSB now. We'll go later in the future if
Mm-mm.
possible. And I'm just spending time with my family and my friends as much as I could, because I don't know whether I'm gonna get time later or.
Okay. Right. Any suggestions for those like who are going to be for their very first attempt in SSB, or those who are getting screen out multiple times, like how you conquered in your journey, and also for those who are conference out but are not getting recommended जल्दी से, तो उनके लिए आपकी क्या suggestions है?
Okay, so there are different suggestions for all those people. Okay, you mentioned.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
First, for those people who are going for the first attempt, right?
Mm.
So when you're going for the first attempt, go like a lion. Okay, go all prepared. Like if you want to do take a coaching, take a coaching. It's not a bad idea. Take a coaching, do whatever you want to do. Make a physical thing. If you want to have any hobbies, develop it very good, and prepare in such a way that it's the first attempt and the last attempt.
Right.
Don't wait कि हाँ it's the first attempt, चलो कोई नहीं, next attempt में देखेंगे. Don't carry
Mm-hmm.
that mindset. Okay. The second one is for the people who are getting multiple times screened out. Okay. So I want to tell to those people now, ki be normal,
Mm-hmm.
focus on the process. You everyone knows what mistakes they are doing in the narration. Okay. So try to absorb that mistake and work on it. Okay.
Okay.
And while you are in those journey, right, it's making you. Don't ever think that ki तुम्हारा नहीं हो रहा है, तुम्हारा दोस्त का हो रहा है. It's not like that. Your day will come, and when it will come, it will be a big day. Okay. So one thing you should know that you are reaching to the conference level, at least that ki you have that qualities, right? But you are messing up small things in the process itself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here you need to, I think the people who are like more, like either they will have a more knowledge, like they are showing more knowledge to them, because when you're going for the army, navy, or air force, it's like a ground grudge. Okay, like there is a
Right.
shape made, and once you fit in, you are in. If you're
Right.
not fitting up a bit also, they'll just chuck you out. Okay. So try to understand yourself key, where you can be verbose also, where you can be
Mm-hmm.
outspoken also. You cannot be humble. Like sometimes it happens now, many people are not humble. So try to be more humble. Like it's very requirement of the job itself. If you're humble, then only the things will happen. So these are the two things I want to give to the people who are going for the conference, who are getting conference out. And I think all those people who talked to you on the series now, because I started from the screen out only, and I know how what it feels for the screen out who are getting more of the times screen out. And similar for the conference out people, because a lot of my friends are like lying into that line.
Mm.
So I hope that they will pakka become an officer today, tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. So this is the thing. All the best for their futures, and see you all in uniform.
Right. Thank you so much for your
Yeah.
kind words. Now, in the end, I just want to talk about SSB crack exam. So, can you tell us how was the platform helpful in your preparation? And can you guide students as well how they can utilize this platform whenever they're preparing for the SSBs?
Okay, so the very first thing I mentioned about the OIR, right? So SSB Crack has got this OIR pamphlet, right? 50 series or a 20 PDF kind of thing, right?
Right.
You can take the help from that, because when you today also we used to solve that same OIR sheet. I don't go for the any other thing. So I used to solve that one or two sheets, and that is all for my OIR preparation. And there is a specified things for, like for example, if you're going for a defense type of news, if you want, you can just get access from there. And their YouTube channels are also there. Like for example, I'm giving my interview, so at that time I also have seen other people's interview somewhere or other, and from there I have got something, and I just prepare for next for the SSB, because like me, the other people who have also made it have something in common. Okay.
Right.
So you will understand, like if you see one time you will not understand, but if you go for the next or third times, you will pakka understand ki, ha, this guy told me that, so it will happen. And when it will happen, you will understand ki, हाँ, this was the thing required. So in that way, small things you can just take a help of. And whenever we search anything like online, like for the related, if the first pop-up comes is SSB crack, so we click that button ki, हाँ, ठीक है, we get the news and all things. So So in that way, for all the process, you can just take help, and there are different things available, right? You can just download it from there based on your requirements.
All right. So that was like, we are very happy to know that somewhere or the other we were about to help you. And again,
Yeah.
many congratulations, Rohit. You are going to join the academy very soon. It was really nice to hear you saying those things about your SSB and how beautifully you have narrated everything. No, it is definitely going to be helpful for somebody or the other. So again, thank you so much, and I hope you'll become the best officer. All the very best, and please don the uniform very gracefully as you are. And again, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you, Drishti. See you in blues also. Take care.
Yeah, thank you so much, and waiting for the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope you have heard the entire experience of Rohit in a very right way. एंड आपको बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला होगा उनके एक्सपीरियंस से, जितनी डिटेल में उन्होंने हर चीज कवर करी है. आई गेस फॉर दोज हु आर गोइंग टू बी अपीयर फॉर द एसएसबी इन द वेरी फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट, उनको पूरा प्रोसेस समझ आ गया होगा. But in case if you still have any doubts left, you can put it in the comments below and we'll try to definitely solve them out. Rest, all the very best. Please share this video with all those of your friends who are going to appear for this SSBs in the upcoming time, and may all of you get recommended very soon and become the officers, guys. All the very best. Bye bye, take care and Jai Hind.
अगर आप एक डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट हैं और एसएसबी इंटरव्यू, एनडीए, सीडीएस, एफकैट जैसे एग्जाम्स के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं तो आप एसएसबी क्रैक एग्जाम्स के कोर्स को चेक करना ना भूलें. आप हमारी लर्निंग एप्लीकेशन को गूगल प्ले स्टोर से भी डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं.